Hello guys, in this video I want to move away a bit from technical topics which I do daily videos about and want to talk about soft skills for junior developers, how to find a job or a freelance project. Because for the last month I've been doing a mentorship program in my local Lithuanian community by trying to solve one problem, this chart that I've tweeted. There are a lot of job offers for Laravel developers or any developers, but most of them are towards senior developers. On the other side, there are plenty of junior developers, plenty of people who just learned Laravel or any framework just from the beginning, like their first CRUD, their first project, small project for themselves, and they are struggling to find jobs and find the first projects. So I decided to talk to those junior developers, mentor them for a while, see their struggles, find and fix the gaps in the technical knowledge, and then try to find jobs for them. And in this video, I will tell you my experience, what happened during that month, then what you can learn as Laravel developers about the reasons why you cannot find jobs or better jobs, and what advice I can give you. And also I will share lessons for myself, what I've learned about mentorship, about my own mentorship skills, about what is difficult or easy, and how would I do it the next time around. So first I will tell you what happened. A month ago, I've posted this post in my local Lithuanian community. This is in Lithuanian language, so you wouldn't understand, but I will paraphrase that. So I get these messages from time to time about someone asking me, do you know any PHP or Laravel developer? And I figure out that the main problem for those trying to find their jobs is they lack portfolio. So this is the name of my project, the coding name Laravel Portfolio. And I've shot a video for that local community inviting people, junior developers, to be a part of my mentorship program with the goal to build their first portfolio so they would try to apply to the jobs later. And disclaimer, I wasn't actually teaching Laravel during that program. The prerequisite was that people should have known Laravel, at least been able to install and create a few MVC stuff like CRUD, or being familiar with Blade, controllers, models, and all of those basic stuff for Laravel, but struggling to find their first job and want to be mentored, want more practice, want more community engagement, and just general advice how to proceed. So I've added a questionnaire, again in Lithuanian language, but I will translate it. I'm showing you so you would understand the context and how it was presented. So there were questions like, what is your goal in that project? So are you looking for a job or a freelance project, or what is your current position, like student or maybe working elsewhere, not in IT or not with programming, stuff like that. Then what is your general experience in Laravel or development? Then any code examples that you have, like GitHub. Then how many hours can you spend on that program, on the mentorship? And I advised that it should be at least 10 hours a week because it was intensive month. And then name and email. That's it. And I've got 73 applicants, which was more than enough for me to test my own mentorship skills and just give it a try as a whole idea. So what we've been doing over that month, I gave them the task called Bookshop task with an idea that it would land on their portfolio on GitHub or their website as a code example of a simple Laravel project they can perform. And as a result of that, here's my playlist for code reviews. I've recently shot quite a lot of code reviews, and part of those code reviews were from those students. So this is a bookshop project with just managing the books, discounts, ratings, admin area, and pretty simple stuff, but it's kind of like basic things that prove that you know your way around Laravel. So this was a part, technical mentorship. And we've been tracking all the progress in Excel sheet, in Google Sheet, who have performed like installing Laravel, starter kit. Also, all the repositories were public for all of the students, which is important because they may take a look at each other's code and learn from each other. So it's a community-driven thing. Also, later in the second part of the project, there was a choice between Vue and Livewire, how to perform certain action. And as you can see, only some of the students reached that level. So as a result, 1 month later, I'm currently working and actively searching for positions or jobs for 10 people. Out of those 73, only 10 actually performed the task, were active for at least 10 hours a week as I requested, and made enough progress so they would apply to any positions. But that rate, 10 out of 73, I was kind of expecting that. And my personal goal to find them positions is kind of achieved because 2 of them already landed their first jobs for freelancing. One of them is from Upwork, one of them is from local Lithuanian community, and then another one is going through job interview at one company for a full-time position of junior or intern. So the model of monthly mentorship kind of worked, and I have a few success stories and expect a bit more to come later. Now, what lessons did I learn from that month? Or first, what lessons can I give to you? What advice can I give to you? How you can learn better if you are a junior developer and your goal is to find a job or a better job. So let's just talk without any screen in the background. I will tell you the advice. Advice number 1 is practice. Practice, practice, practice. Those people who came out of that program in a better position, those were practicing daily, committing the code, discussing the code, but trying new things. Even if they fail in the very beginning or had struggles, they overcame that by practicing the code. So no amount of online courses, watching, or my mentorship, if that matters, nothing will actually land you the job or freelance gig if you don't practice the actual coding. Saying that, advice number 2, read someone else's code a lot. There are plenty of open source Laravel repositories, and I sometimes review them on my YouTube channel, but read others' code and try to learn new things. So if you see some open source project come up on Twitter or GitHub or Reddit, go to GitHub, look for their code, and try to analyze what they did, how they did it, ask questions on Twitter. People are approachable, or raise issues on the same GitHub. There are many ways, but also read others' code. So that's advice number 2. And advice number 3, don't be afraid to ask for advice showing your code. I see a lot of junior developers struggle to overcome that mental barrier that my code is crap. To improve your code, someone else, senior like myself or other people, should see your code and provide individual feedback. Only then you grow, only then you learn, and your version 2 and version 3 of the same project, the same code, should be better. And by the way, those people inside of that portfolio project became better when they did the same task, version 1 and then version 2 and then version 3, after watching my code reviews for themselves individually or group code review which I shot on YouTube. So don't stop improving your code. Even if you have it working and ready and published, there's always something to improve. And my advice number 4, how you can improve in your skills, is about sales skills and soft skills, so to speak, in general. So to land a job or to land a freelance gig, you need to sell yourself. Imagine a scenario that someone is looking for a junior developer, or in fact anyone who can deliver the project, and they receive typically 50 to 100 applicants from junior developers, because there are a lot of people, a lot of new people, new developers entering the market every year, because programming is sexy now and everyone wants to earn money as a developer, and the competition is fierce. So you need to stand out with your offer, not from technical point of view alone. You need to sell yourself. And then the details matter a lot. How do you speak English or whatever language you're pitching at? Then, how do you present yourself on GitHub or on your website? How do you communicate to the client mentioning their problem, not your skills? So in fact, you need to pitch not yourself, you need to pitch the solution to client's problem, especially in freelance. So you see the project description and don't talk about yourself, about how you can code something like you have experience in Laravel, but pitch the solution that you can code the exact solution to the exact problem of a client. And if you have an example of that, that's why my project was called Laravel Portfolio. Land the job and the freelance gig by pointing to the exact example of the code you have written to solve exact problem of a client. And then general sales skills or communication skills will actually move you further in the chance of actually getting that job. So it's ironic, but in the beginning of developer career, the developer to land their first jobs or projects need to become salesman. So it's not enough to learn Laravel or PHP or whatever, you need to sell yourself. So think how you present yourself online. So all your social media accounts, GitHub repository, READMEs there. So people who will give you the jobs will actually take time to check your profiles, at least briefly. So they will go through your Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, GitHub, and maybe something else. So would you hire yourself based on those profiles? And then the main lesson to myself, what I've learned over that month, is that to jump from the level of first CRUDs, first projects, to actually land a job and the project, it's a huge gap for junior developer. And the best thing that can help solve that gap to reach that milestone is individual attention to someone's progress. So if you go to courses like Laracast or Code Course or YouTube videos for free, you can learn yourself. But without actually someone mentoring you and seeing your code and providing the feedback or providing advice, it's really easy to close down in your own bubble of the code, and stop improving. Because in junior phase, a lot of people don't know what they don't know and how they can improve and how they can Google things and what technology they need to choose. So Livewire versus Vue.js, Laravel 8 or Laravel 7, Starter Kit Breeze or UI or Jetstream. A lot of those questions appear, and you can ask them on Twitter and on forums, but I found quite a lot of those mentees, so to speak, my students, being quite lost without individual attention, and until they ask me or my team some questions about their own situation, they were struggling to find some answers in a global like forums or Laracast or Google. So in general, my overall conclusion is that juniors need individual attention, which is hard for me personally. So that month was pretty intense and difficult for me. I spent roughly 2 to 3 hours per day reviewing the code, preparing for them, answering individual questions and all of that. And it was a pretty tiring process. And by the way, I did it all for free. That was just my idea to give back to my local Lithuanian community after 15 years of my own career. So at the end of that process, well, it's not really end, it's ongoing, but my active mentorship has ended in that group, and I thought, what did I learn and would I repeat the same thing again? And I was thinking to expand that program internationally in spring or in summer to mentor more juniors and land jobs to them. But in fact, I'm a bit tired. It's two different things to shoot YouTube videos like this one or courses on my own terms for the topics that I choose in the time that I want, morning, evening, weekend, whatever. And different thing is to mentor people on their terms for their project on their time whenever they want. So I need to get out of my own comfort zone and land down to their problem on their ground and spend quite a lot of time analyzing their mistakes like a teacher in high school or in university. And now I understand better the salary of teachers who just check the homework of students or kids. It's a pretty difficult process if you want to do it well and with quality. So for now, I'm thinking to take a break from mentorship for a month or so, and stay tuned for any news on this YouTube channel. So subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button to be notified of new videos. And perhaps in a month or two, I will shoot a new video with some kind of idea that would be beneficial for all of us. I thought it could be a paid mentorship program, so I could charge something like $199 for a month of my mentorship, but at the same time, it's not fair for junior developers because they don't earn money yet or not enough money to invest in that program, especially if they live in a country with worse economic situation and especially during that pandemic years. So I need to come up with something different. So bear with me, stay with my daily YouTube videos on Laravel and technical stuff, and at some point I will come up with something. And if you have any ideas, shoot in the comments how we can help each other, how can I help you without doing 24/7 work for me, and let's discuss any possibilities. And for now, see you guys in other videos.